What's going on, good people? Chidi Delibe. I'm here with you, bringing another video. And on today, the topic is, I was looking on my little news feed kind of thing, and I saw two recent articles. One about a church over in Mexico, not Mexico the country, but Mexico, New York. In the state of New York, there's a city called Mexico, and there's a church there. There's also another church over in Tampa Bay, Florida. And they both have come out and put up signs. I believe one of them put it in their little kind of like marquee on the, in front of the church building. And another one put a posted sign, I believe, on a window or a door or something like that of the church building, stating that their church is not going to be a gun-free zone, or, beware that you are not entering a gun-free zone. We are armed up in here. And, people were tweeting it. People that went there were, putting the picture up on Instagram, people that were worshiping there. And of course, you've got the left-wing gun control liberals, the far leftists, being totally triggered. And I just don't understand why. It's like, wherever I go, I want to be in a place where I know I have a great level of safety. Like when I'm at a police station, I have a job where there's many times where I go inside of police stations to do my work. When I'm at the police station, I feel very safe because I know if a criminal or any kind of thug element, criminal element wants to come up inside the building, I know everybody up in here got a gun. So if somebody wants to set it off, I know I have tens, if not hundreds of people around me armed and ready to go. Now, we have the rash of the shootings. You have just recently, of course, the church shooting over in Sutherland Springs, where 26 people were murdered, even though I counted 27 because one of the killed was a baby in the womb. And so I count that as well. It's 27. We also have the church shooting from a couple years ago with Dylan Roof over in South Carolina, where he shot at those 9 people during a Bible study. You also have the other church shooting in Tennessee, all right, where you have the black guy who went in there and shot up those people. What we're seeing that people aren't stupid. These shooters, these insane people are not stupid. They know good and well that inside of these houses of worship, you have massive amounts of people. You have adults, you have children, you have people that are not armed. All right, in most senses, outside of this story that I'm giving you right now. You have a building with people that are not armed. And so if you go in there, you already know what time it is. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. So you now have 2 places of worship that have decided we're not going to stand around and just get shot up and lit up. We've decided that we are going to be armed. And not only are we choosing to be armed, we're actually letting you know. We're putting up a warning sign. We are armed up in here. If you come in here, you are going to have a problem. You're going to be met with handguns, rifles. I don't care what they got in there. But guess what? If you want to shoot up people in here, you are going to have a fight on your hands. That would make me feel safe. And I've fired weapons. I don't currently own a weapon, but I've fired weapons. I know a bunch of people that own weapons, lots of weapons. They fire their weapons. Gun enthusiasts. I have no problem with it. All those people that I know, concealed carries, good, upstanding people. But for some reason, you have people like Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan and Ben Shapiro had a little Twitter back and forth. I mean, it really wasn't a back and forth because Ben Shapiro demolished him. But Piers Morgan's ideology is one of, well, if you have people inside the church building with guns, then more people are going to die. And I'm like, I don't understand that logic. As if like I have a gun on me, so therefore I'm going to just start, in the midst of praise and worship and prayer, I'm just going to start unloading on people. No. How many crimes, you watching this video, how many crimes are perpetrated by people with concealed carries? Just how many? It's next to none. And when you look at some of the states, you can look at Alaska, Wyoming, Idaho. I believe, I'm sure with Alaska, these are states where well over 50%, I think in Alaska it's like darn near 60% of the citizens inside of Alaska own guns. They have registered firearms. But what is the amount of gun crimes going on in Alaska? It's nothing compared to what it is in Chicago. It's nothing what it's compared in California, Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, Texas, in like Houston areas. The gun crimes and gun violence is rampant out there. But you have states like Idaho. Darn it, half the people got guns. Alaska, half the people got guns. Wyoming, half the people got guns. Gun crimes are low. So it's not if you have more people that have more guns commit more crime. So when you have a place of worship and the people are just sick and tired, how many more shootings inside of a church building do you have to go through before people decide, no, we're just going to arm up and we're going to defend ourselves? And then the left screams, you guys are being violent. You guys are causing more violence. You guys are going to cause more violence with owning the guns. It defies logic. I try to reason with it, but this is the kind of stuff where me as just a conservative, it just doesn't make sense. And I'll tell you this, I'm all for, like, look, on a college campus, because we know the college campus has got shootings going on over there. Virginia Tech was a big one where a lot of people died there. But even if it's not a shooting, even if it's a knife attack, car attack, it doesn't really matter. Why can you not allow people with concealed carries on the campus? Who is committing crimes with these concealed carries? Like, who is doing it? Nobody. It is rare to find somebody do a crime with a concealed carry. So when I saw these things, when I saw these two places of worship and they put up these signs letting people know what time it was, I'm honest, if I was worshiping there, I'd feel good. I would feel good. Knowing that if something goes down, somebody around me has a weapon. Because guess what? In every one of these situations in Sutherland Springs, who stopped it? A guy with a gun. In Tennessee, who stopped the guy who came in there and shot those people? A guy with a gun. And even if those people weren't there, who would have stopped the shootings despite an actual citizen coming in with a gun? Who eventually would stop the shooting? A policeman with a gun. So we just have to stop this whole, I understand people die at the hands of guns, and when guns can be a scary thing when you literally know next to nothing about guns and you've never fired a weapon before. All right. And I'm not trying to come like I'm some gun expert, because I am not. Even though I fired a weapon, it does not make me an expert by any means. But I know the reality about firearms and about who's really causing the damage. And it's not the concealed carries. It's not these legal people with firearms. It is people that are mentally insane. You can't go inside of a church building and shoot up 26 people and have a sane mind. You can't. And I mean, the Sutherland Springs, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you probably know, but it was the Air Force that didn't hand off the corresponding paperwork to the FBI so this guy wouldn't be able to get the guns in the first place. It was a failure of government. It wasn't a failure of the people, of the regular citizenship. Anyways, I just want to put up that video because I'm seeing these these churches, and they're making these stands, and I'm all for it. Look, if you want to take a stand and say, hey, we're not dealing with this any longer, and if you want to come in here, you're going to have a problem. I'm all for it. And I'll leave you, I think, Luke chapter 22. You look in your Bibles, because everybody looks at Jesus as the pacifist. He's all about nonviolence. All right. He's making him seem like he's this hippie walking through the valley picking flowers. But when you look at Luke chapter 22, verse number 38, I believe it is, the disciples come to Jesus after Jesus is talking about, him going through his passion, being handed over. The disciples talk to the Lord and say, Lord, here, we have 2 swords. And Jesus says, that's enough. Jesus doesn't tell them, hey, you know what? Don't need a sword, guys. That's not necessary. We don't need weapons. Peace will prevail. There's no need for that. No, Jesus says, that's cool. All right, 2 swords, that's good enough. You guys are good. Jesus is not this hippie hillbilly that people claim him to be, as if people are going to try and use Jesus or use the Gospels to preach gun control. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Anyways, that's my time, y'all. That's my video. Let me know what your thoughts are below. I'll put the links to the 2 different churches so you can see the articles about it. And I'll try and put a link up about, the states and gun ownership in each of these states where the states have a majority of the citizens in the state have guns. And it's all you. I just want you to take it in. Anyways, like, comment, share, and subscribe as I keep on putting out the content. Talk to you on the next one. Peace.